2 The Redline Productions proudly presents today's 2 The Redline review was made possible in part by
Hey YouTube! Well, thanks for joining me today. All you Mazda lovers out there are going to appreciate this one. This is a 2010 Mazda 3 S Grand Touring sedan. Now, 2010 marks the first model year of the second generation Mazda 3. Now, this one is just the liquid silver metallic exterior color. I believe that's what Mazda calls it. This one's a Grand Touring sedan, which means it's almost top of the line. It is missing pretty much just their technology package, which gives you the nav, push button start, features like that. But this one's pretty fully loaded. You can see the differences between other models is the Grand Tourings have the LED taillights in the back. You can distinguish this as an S model from the 2.5 badge on the back, as well as the dual exhaust. The Mazda 3 is one of the few compact cars that actually have a chrome tip dual exhaust. These 17-inch alloy wheels come standard on the S models. And the Mazda 3 is just a fun compact car. It's one of the highly rated in the class. Not necessarily a bestseller for Mazda, but in terms of the class, it's kind of like a little niche vehicle. I love the Grand Touring model because it has those swiveling adaptive bi-xenon headlights. If you want to look at other models, they actually have just a projector beam, and they don't have this, like, the Grand Touring kind of gives you that little curved part in the headlight, which looks pretty cool. The smiley grille has gotten a lot of positive and negative criticism. When I first came out, I actually liked it. I'm starting to actually think it looks a little awkward and weird, but it's really to each their own. It's a really good looking car, especially in this top of the line trim, if you can ignore the grille. But the 2010 models, you can distinguish them because they have the turn signal mirrors. The 11 model, which my friend has, does not have the turn signal mirrors, which I'm not sure why they got rid of that. Coming to the interior, this one does have black leather. And you can see it has the adaptive front lighting system. That's what the AF-S button means. This one just has Mazda's traditional switchblade key, not the push button start, so you do have to put the key in the ignition to start this vehicle. And really nice looking electroluminescent gauges. And the 2.5 liter does come equipped with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, which is essentially the same engine in a Fusion. But let's go over the interior quality of the Mazda 3 because it's supposedly one of the best in the class. Personally, I think since the Focus came out, the Focus has pretty much taken that title. But you do have soft touch door panel, soft touch dash material in the dashboard. It actually is one piece and it goes up all the way here. It is hard plastic over here, but it's nice how the soft touch actually extends to over here and over there. The door panel with this Grand Touring, the windows are automatic up and down just for the driver's side. The door panel has this nice soft touch leather right here, leather right there. It's hard plastic right here. The silver plastic here helps brighten up an otherwise dark cabin. The one thing about the Mazda 3 that's gotten a lot of criticism is the nav system. This one doesn't have it, but it is pretty much when you get the nav, that screen size does not change. It's the same size whether you get the nav or without nav. And I'm not a big fan of the font. It looks kind of dated. Not really kind of dated, it looks very dated. And I hate the little beeps that it makes as well. It's just a very awful looking or annoying beep, which I believe you can turn it off. Like, it's weird because the screen right there actually looks nice, and then the font over there just looks kind of out of place. It doesn't really match it. In terms of how everything else in here works, it's pretty nice. I really like the LED lights. Like when you turn the volume up, you can see it goes that way, or if I go that way, it goes that way. And this one has the Bose center point sound system. Pretty good sound system.
Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Yeah.
It's really good sounding, but I think the Focus with the Sony sound system sounds even better. The steering wheel is very nice. It's very nice feel in your hands. You got buttons all over the steering wheel. If you do get nav, it puts more buttons right here where the nav system is, which kind of limits it only to the driver. I really think that they really should have put it over here because the passenger is going to be the one who's inputting directions and whatnot. This one does come with a 5-speed automatic with a sports shift mode, and this does have 5-level heated seats. In your center console here, it's adjustable armrest, and if you open it in here, it does have a power port and an auxiliary input jack. There's no iPod USB connection in here. That's a dealer accessory, which is kind of a silly omission for me from Mazda, because they're supposed to appeal. This car's supposed to appeal to the younger buyers, and we really want an iPod system. The back seat on the Mazda 3 is a bit on the tight side, just like a Focus. Other cars will definitely give you more space. No vents back here, but you do get an armrest with cup holders, no pass-through. The seat is 60-40 split, and it's the materials hard plastic here, but you do get soft leather here, so they did follow through pretty much, since the front's not any different. The trunk on the sedan model is a little on the small side. I would definitely recommend the hatchback. It's because it gives you, I mean, I like hatchbacks, but it's really up to your taste. Sedans are definitely the more popular seller. Under the hood, you'll find Mazda's familiar 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with variable valve time. It makes 167 horsepower and 168 foot-pounds of torque. It's a very smooth engine, and it's very torquey. If you're moving down from a larger car, the Mazda 3 will definitely give you that power that you're looking for off the line. It's a very torquey engine. Let's move on to how this car drives, because, you know, before the Focus came out, the Mazda 3 was actually considered to be one of the most fun to drive in the class. Along with probably the Volkswagen Golf and the old Jetta. But I mean, the Focus and the Mazda 3 are so similar. What the Focus kind of offers is a little bit more refinement, because this car is really fun to drive, don't get me wrong. My main gripes with it, which Mazda actually has addressed, is the new Skyactiv engine, because the 2.5-liter in this motor, or in this car, only gets 22 in the city and 29 on the highway. That's very disappointing for a small car. But I mean, you can see what it's averaging, 26.7 now. This car's been sitting here idling, so I'm imagining this owner must have did more highway commuting versus actual city driving. But the seats in here are really comfortable, and the steering has a really good feel. It feels almost like a hydraulic unit, but I'd have to double check that. But it feels really nice. It's really precise. The ride in here is definitely a little stiffer than the Focuses, and it's definitely not as quiet. But that may just be because this car has 37,000 miles on it. But it has Toyo tires on it, which Toyos never have been really that quiet anyways. They grip really well though. And then the throttle response in here is excellent. The 2.5-liter definitely moves this car out really well. So for those of you who are looking for a faster compact, the 3 is definitely there with the 2.5-liter. It's a really smooth engine also. I really like this engine in the Mazda 3. I probably would want to get it with a stick, but you can hear that the noise in here is much higher than the Focus. So if you're looking for a little more refinement, the Focus will give you that refinement that you're looking for. The 5-speed auto has really crisp shifts. Sometimes I think it could use an extra gear. I'm really curious to see how the new Skyactiv Mazda 3 drives with the 6-speed automatic. Manual does have a sport shift mode, and it's the plus and minuses are kind of reversed from what you're used to. To upshift, I actually pull down. To downshift, I push up. And it's actually pretty good on rev matching. So it actually works pretty well. I like the sport shift in this car. It just could use an extra gear. It would definitely help with the gas mileage. Weird, because the Fusion has a 6-speed automatic with this engine, but the Mazda has a 5-speed auto. But in terms of the ride comfort, I mean, I'm on this smooth pavement right now. It's not bad, but on choppier pavement, you will notice that this car transmits bumps much harder than a Focus does, or even a Civic. A Civic rides softer, but it doesn't handle as well. And if you really want floaty soft, go for an Elantra or a Corolla. So it's really up to your taste. Mazda doesn't give you things like what the Focus gives you, like the big touchscreen navigation system. The Focus gives you the parallel parking feature. So there's a lot of tech. I mean, both these cars can get pretty expensive when they are fully loaded. But I mean, I still think the Mazda 3 is a great car. It's really up to your preference. I definitely would recommend checking out both cars if you're looking for the 2 highest tech, or the 2 compacts with the highest tech features. But anyways, guys, Hope you enjoyed watching my overview of this 2010 Mazda 3. If you're in the market for a compact sedan, check one out. There's lots of competition out there for you to check out. But thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, here's some legal stuff for you. The views and opinions expressed in the following video may not necessarily reflect those of the title-holding automotive dealer or the entity they represent. All videos are filmed with permission by a professional driver on a set course with the collaboration and assistance of local law enforcement authorities. Do not attempt. Logos and brandings of vehicle manufacturers, dealerships, and online social media sites are the sole property of their respective representation used with permission. The To The Redline logo, soundtrack, and web resources, as well as all other associated media, are copyrighted intellectual property of To The Redline LLC. All rights reserved.